Hey everyone, we're Chris and Sandy with the Chris and Sandy Show, where you get up close and personal, some amazing guests you have the entertainment industry. And today, like I said in every episode, we got a great one for you. Who do we have?
We're excited to welcome returning guest Jet Jurgensmeyer, a rising independent country artist who is also an actor. His brand new single, Prove Me Wrong, drops on February 6th.
And we're excited to talk to him about that and so much more. Welcome to the show.
Great
Welcome
to
back.
see you guys. It's been too long. Like 5 years is too long. We got to do this more often.
Most definitely.
Yes. So tell us a little bit about your new single that's dropping on February 6th, Prove Me Wrong.
So I wrote this with two really, really good friends of mine, as I say for pretty much every song I put out, because I typically only write with people I'm good friends with and close with at this point. Miss Erica Latza and Kylie Diffie. And ironically enough, it was mine and Erica's first time writing with Kylie. We'd never met before. Erica had to connect with her. I think met Kylie through her mom. And her mom was like, my daughter's a songwriter. You guys should write. So Erica said, well, let's write with Jet. And we wrote the song, and it was right around a kind of intense time in our country back in 2025. It was right around when Charlie Kirk was murdered, and I just felt like our country was at an all-time low. Or a rather low point. So
absolutely.
I brought this idea to Erica and Kylie. I was like, this is really weighing on my chest, and even if this song never gets put out there by anybody, I just need to write it to get something out. I mean, I'm a songwriter, so the only way that we get our emotions out half the time is through music. So this was our first time writing with Kylie, and we wrote this song, and we all fell in love with it. It was so powerful, it felt like. And the more we sat with it, the more I loved it, the more my parents loved it. And it was just like, well, why don't I record this? And then we'll sit with it. And then we'll decide, okay, maybe this is one that we should put out. And that's exactly what we did. We recorded it, not really 100% certain if it was going to be one that I would release. And the more my team has listened to it, the more my team has just kind of had my back, that this song pretty much says everything that I believe and I feel. And I hope that people feel the same when they listen to it.
Definitely love that. So what was that moment where you thought, we're definitely releasing this?
It was with my parents. My parents, I think I got in the car with them maybe to go to a show or something that I was performing at. And they said, man, we've been listening to the recording. It just sounds, it's so good. And there's so many opportunities of people and organizations that we could work with this song to really portray the message of it. And I was thinking the same thing. So it was just like, it was a God moment, God timing. He never fails. So it just kind of was one of those things where, of course, naturally, not how you expected it to turn out is exactly how it turned out. And I'm really proud of the song. I'm really happy with the message that we were able to portray through the music. And I think or I hope that it's one of those healing things for just communities all over our country and our country as a whole.
Definitely love that. So when you listen back to some of your earlier music, what's changed?
Well, my voice has changed a lot. Even from when I would be talking with you guys back in, I think 2021, we decided 2021. I think even my voice has changed since then. I was 16, so maybe 17. A lot's changed. My writing style, my influences consistently change. One of the worst things I think an artist and songwriter can say is, well, this is what I've always done. This is how I've always done my music. My audience is continuing to grow up and experience life. They don't need to just think that I'm the same cookie cutter person that I've always been. As I continue to grow and experience life, if I experience heartbreak, if I have the first beer, if I feel like I need to write a song like Prove Me Wrong, I'm going to write about that because that's what I'm going through. And an audience can smell bullcrap from a mile away if you don't know what you're writing.
Gotta be authentic.
Way more than you think. And I think that's what people can tell the difference in the most. For me, I definitely, it like is like a ringing in my ear when I listen to my old stuff, and I'm like, oh, why would I have said that in this? Oh, well, that's what I was going through at the time. But now, me being me now, I'm like, But everybody does that. You do that with, sports highlights of yourself 20 years down the road, and you look back and you're like, oh, I wish I would have done that differently. But I'm very proud of everything that we've been able to accomplish so far.
So, did you start out as acting?
Not really.
Okay.
So my parents owned a bar restaurant here in Nashville called the Nashville Palace. It's still there. It's across the street from Opryland. The first time I ever got on stage, I was 3 years old at the Palace. The first acting job I ever did, I was 4 here in Nashville. I did a commercial. So technically, music came first. But really on a professional level, I started doing acting professionally significantly earlier. And then it was a little bit later in life that I was about 10, 11. I really started taking my music seriously again, and was inspired by, I was in California a ton. So a bunch of Ed Sheeran, Shawn Mendes.
Oh, yeah.
And you can hear that in a lot of my older stuff as well. And now you can hear my inspirations from, back to my country roots, Cody Johnson and stuff like that.
Now, do you still act, or is this pretty much the route now?
So I'm a big believer in life happening in waves, and God doesn't throw more at you than he knows you can take. So at the moment, we're really doing music. We're on the road a lot when I'm not in class. Over the summer, last year, we were on the road pretty much the entire time. We will be this summer as well. I still do auditions. When I got to college, I was still doing voiceover work for Nickelodeon. I had gone from being the 7-year-old kid on the shows to the adult voice doing the next up on Nick Jr., like that stuff. So I've been promoted. But I still do auditions and things like that, but I'm really focusing on the music thing. I've got to write right after I get off the phone with you guys here. I've got to write coming over here to
you talking about that basically all your life you've been in entertainment. Was there ever a moment where you had to figure out who Jet was?
Wow, what a good question. I've never been asked that. Oh my goodness. Yes, in short. Especially as a kid being an actor, it's hard to figure out what was the character and what was really me, especially when your whole life is really surrounded around building and creating different characters for every role. So yes, it took me a little bit longer than normal to kind of even out and figure out where that switch is. And not even switches, but one of my favorite sayings I've heard is dials, not switches. So I can crank up the acting and I can crank down who Jet is. You can't have both going at full blast 100% of the time. So you got to have a bunch of different dials for different parts of your life, and then you just crank them up and crank them down as you need them. So yes, that is difficult to do, and absolutely I had to figure out who in the world Jet was compared to who just like Jet Jurgensmeyer was. But I do think that I've got that nice blend down. My friends and my family play a big part in helping me stay real and true to who I am.
Love that. So when you co-write, are you the guy who brings the spark, the structure, or the emotion?
Next question. I don't know. It kind of depends on the write. So what I've done, because I am mainly writing with people I know, every now and again, there'll be a new person in on the write, but typically there's at least one person I know and have written with.
Yeah.
Depending on who, like today, right after this, one of my co-writers I know very well. One of them I've never written with before, but they know each other. Yeah. So one thing I'll try to do is adjust what I'm bringing to the write depending on who I'm writing with. So if I'm writing with Erica Latza, who I've written a boatload of songs with, and majority of the songs I put out with, she has been a co-writer on. I know that Erica typically has a song title in her head.
Yeah.
So I'll try to bring a melody and chord progression that I think could be interesting to run with. But other people I know are really good with an instrument and really good at singing a really cool melody. So I'll try to have a verse in mind, or I'll have a hook in mind or something like that. So my voice memos app on my phone is full of everything in between of me just talking out an idea, singing out an idea, the crappy audio of it being connected to my car while driving down the road, recording a voice memo. Terrible idea. Don't do that. But that's where I get a lot of my ideas, is in the car, having listened to music.
Now, with all the controversy around AI, where do you see AI as a place? Because no matter what we say, it's not going nowhere. So where does it hold a place where we can still balance it out?
Absolutely. That's another great question that I've been discussing with some of my peers at college. I'm an optimist, so I always want to see the good in people and the good in everything. So I believe that everybody has the ability to know where their own personal line is and when to cross it and when not to.
Yeah.
AI is something that's going to be used. You should still be careful about what apps you use and what you're giving them your song to make these AI demos. They're super easy to do with their AI demos, but sometimes you got to read the fine print just to make sure you're not essentially accidentally signing a bad deal. But I think that if people know their limits of what's too much and what isn't, and are able to use it as a tool without abusing it, then why in the world would you not? It's just like any new invention and time and technology changes everywhere. I mean, just 100 years ago, cars were brand new. So it's little things like that. So I think if people can use it as a tool, I enjoy using it. It's fun to see. I definitely use it for school to help me create questions and study guides and things like that. I'll have it take my notes and build that out for me. It helps a lot, but you definitely have to know when too much is too much.
That's like with we're writing a book right now, and I'm writing the book, but I'm having ChatGPT go back in and edit and tweak.
Yes.
Exactly what you would have an editor do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's what people don't understand. If you use it as you said, as a tool, I think it can really blossom our country. But if too many people take advantage of it in the wrong ways, then it could go backwards.
You definitely can't miss that human touch. James Cameron talks about this for the Avatar movies. And he talked rather extensively about how there was no generative AI used for the creation of this fictional world that Avatar was based around. He said there was thousands. I was literally just listening to this earlier today. He said we had thousands of artists create this world and create the characters because you can't miss the uniqueness of a human touch and experience.
Wow.
So you really can't miss that. It's hard to beat, and it's hard to teach a robot that. Now, Tony Stark managed to do it with Jarvis and other Iron Man movies. Jarvis is a great character, but I don't think that we've reached that point yet.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So everybody sees the glory in everything you do, but they don't see the grind, the sacrifice, the tears, the struggles it takes to make it in any level with entertainment. And nobody really talks about this side of it. They always want the fluffs. We don't on our show, as you know, as you probably remember. Yes. So take a few moments and tell us about the side that most people don't see.
My Instagram is always full of, the posts that are of my shows and me promoting my songs and the streams that we're at. This one's on the radio now. What those posts don't show are the years and years of me playing dive bars for nobody. I played a show one time in downtown Nashville with a friend of mine. It was a 2-hour show, and we played for an hour and a half for 3 people. My mom, my dad, and her mother.
Wow.
Those were the 3 people. And for the last 30 minutes, a guy showed up and listened to us. 2 hours for a total of 4 people. Little things like that make me, now being on the road, appreciate that so much. I always tell people that ask me about, should I get into this? Should I pursue my dream? First of all, absolutely. Second of all, be willing to hear no. People might not like your song. They might not want to play your song. They might not let you perform, but the least that they can say, or the worst that they can say, is no. But at the very least, you put yourself out there. And so it was all those no's, whether it be for an acting role, whether it be, hey, this song wasn't right for our playlist or our radio station, that now make where I've been able to go and perform so amazing. You know,
Yeah.
we went to Idaho last summer and performed at a county fair, and we were not expecting a good crowd. It was 105 degrees when we got there. Our show got pushed back 2 hours because of the heat. And so we figured there's not going to be anybody here. It was one of the busiest shows we've ever performed at all, really at all, and especially that entire tour last summer.
Yeah.
People were dancing to songs that I'd written. People that didn't know the words to the songs that I'd written were just like basically drunk singing along to the songs.
Oh, that's awesome.
And that was one of those moments where I was like, oh, this is all those times of the dive bars and the playing for 3 and 4 people. This is paying off. And yeah, that's really discouraging and disheartening. And man, I want to be so much further in my career. Everything happens for a reason. God has a plan. Everyone's journey is different. Everyone's schedule is different. So just let yours play out and let it happen.
You know, speaking of a while ago, when you talked about being in the bar and playing for 4 people, what did that teach you about you?
It taught me that I had significantly thicker skin than I think I thought that I had. Growing up, I am the black sheep of my family. You know, I'm an only child, but I'm really close with my cousins, but I'm the only one that's in any form of entertainment. And so I've always been the loud one. I've always been the one that like people can kind of poke and prod at, and I'm okay. I wear that like a badge of honor. But I didn't realize that I could really put up with a good amount until I started playing those places. And you finish a song and you diamond on the last chord, and nobody applauds because they're watching the football game and they're sitting at the bar just wanting your background music.
Yeah.
That taught me that, okay, I know that what I'm doing is right. It also made me a significantly better entertainer. As I got better at entertaining people, I got better at grabbing their attention while they're sitting at the bar watching that game. All of a sudden, people did start clapping. Okay, so I did something better that time. So it's there's not really a template for getting better at it. It's a lot of exposure therapy, if that makes sense.
and doesn't that make the music industry, and really acting too, but especially the music industry, so hard? Because nobody can go out there and say you do this, because every person's journey is going to be different.
Yes, everyone's journey is different. Everyone's voice and song and music is different. So you're going to have a different audience. You're going to have different people that like your music, don't like that person's, or like that person's and don't like yours. So it's really amazing because you can be as creative and as true to yourself. That's why I tell people, stay true to who you are, because you will find your crew and your audience, because that's just the way it is.
So, you know, as they say, it takes a village to create anything, and especially in entertainment. And nobody really gives teams any love. We do. So take a few moments and tell us about the team that helps you be who you are.
I wouldn't be here without the rock star team that I have. My parents have been my biggest supporters. My dad is the driver for the band. My mom is the manager and road manager. She keeps everyone on time and on schedule, and my dad drinks his coffee and drives. My band is some of my best friends and closest friends, which I think is a very underrated thing. You know, yes, we have to be professional first when we meet each other, and we have to be able to perform together. But if I can't enjoy sitting next to you in a van for 10 hours while we drive to Kansas City like we did last weekend, we're probably not going to perform that well together because we're sick of each other. So there's a lot of that. You know, we've got John and Ryan that are doing my radio promo, Aristo Media doing my PR. They're phenomenal. Taylor and Christy.
Yeah, we love them.
Great. Amanda doing all of my socials. She's awesome. So I've been very, very fortunate to have really some of the best people, grassroots, doing some of my radio stuff for years now. I mean, I wouldn't be where I am without a career. You can't do, or without my team. You can't do it alone. And I'm very blessed. And also the people that aren't even with me for my professional career. You know, my friends, my fraternity brothers, my roommates, my girlfriend, all of my close friends, all of them are the people that keep me grounded. And when I come home from being on the road or performing shows for a whole lot of people, they just want to hang out with Jet, and that's cool. So really all the people that are in my life, my family is such a big part of my life, my grandparents, my grandfather, my cousins. So all of those people also, I don't think are discussed enough, because they are the ones that make sure we don't get big heads and become jerks.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of teams, we have a third co-host, our son, who's just turned 14.
Yes, he's 14 now.
Wow.
Look at him.
So last time he asked you questions, he was a lot littler.
He was a lot littler. Oh my goodness, this is crazy.
He's like 9 or so, you know.
Wow.
Because ever since we've launched the show in 2020, he's always asked questions on each episode.
That's cool. That makes me feel old.
Yeah, and people love it. So we love it, and he loves it. So we have fun. You know, we try to make the show, keep it family oriented. As you see, you met Caitlin at the very beginning, and eventually she'll be asking one question or so. She's already asking about that.
Yep, absolutely.
So who knows what we're creating, right?
You never know. You know, you got to have that team. That team, they're the unsung heroes of every successful person. Nobody truly made it on their own. There's a lot of people that have done a lot on their own to get where they are, but nobody's ever truly alone.
So while we're waiting for him, what's next for you?
Right. So I'm continuing to be on the road with my band. You know, I am still in college. So I'm a junior. So I'm still in class. I was in class earlier today. We're on the road a lot. We're still writing and recording music. So working on the next singles. We have 3 or 4 more songs in the chamber ready to release. So right behind Prove Me Wrong. So we're going to be releasing a lot of music in 2026. My goal is to eventually put together an album for it, but we're still working on doing a bunch of these singles, because we still have so many in the chamber that I want people to hear.
Love it.
All right. Hey, Jet.
How are you? Good to see you.
I'm doing good. All right. So what's your favorite food?
Oh, okay. So I'm not
It's a fun question.
I'm not a picky eater. I eat everything. So I'm going to give you, like, for different meals, my favorite foods. Okay. Breakfast is super simple. I love bacon and eggs or a good corned beef hash. There's nothing wrong with that. For lunch, I like typically anything with chicken and like green beans. That's like a good ideal lunch for me. Maybe sushi if I'm feeling really like maybe. But for dinner, it's a toss up between my 2 favorite food. It's either a good old fashioned steak, just a good medium rare steak, or elk tacos. Nothing better. I've got a freezer full of elk meat from my hunt back in 2024. I cook up some elk tacos, and I am a happy camper.
All right, my favorite food is pizza.
Yes. Wait. Does pineapple belong on pizza?
Yes.
Yes, it does. Yes,
definitely.
Yeah.
It absolutely belongs on pizza. I love it.
Yeah.
My roommate over the summer is a very hardcore Italian from Chicago.
Oh.
He completely disagrees.
Oh.
We got into some rather heated debates about whether it belongs on pizza. I love it on pizza. There's nothing wrong with
me
Hawaiian pizza. It's refreshing. It's refreshing. It's
definitely.
Good.
Well, what's funny is we had a show a few weeks ago, and the guy asked him, "Do you like pineapple on pizza?" He says, "Yes." He says, "No."
It's good.
Yeah.
I will say I've had a combination that was in the first Deadpool movie. I heard Ryan Reynolds mention it, and it's olives and pineapple. So like sweet and sour, sweet and salty kind of thing.
Oh wow!
I tried it one time on a whim. He was onto something, guys. It was delicious. It was so good. I didn't want to like it. I wanted to hate it. It was good.
All right, I get another question.
Okay.
So what's the coolest experience you've had in Journey so far?
Oh my. I've been very fortunate to work with some really, really cool people. I got to meet Betty White and work with her on her show Hot in Cleveland. Bradley Cooper, Clint Eastwood, Sabrina Carpenter. one of the coolest, like, whoa moments, I was playing this little bar east of Nashville, and this girl, Maria, and her family drove 12 hours to come and watch me play at this little dive bar with my guitar.
Wow.
And I was playing my original songs. I was playing covers and originals, and every original, she knew every word to it. And she would request songs that I had to like think about how to play them because they were on my like first album and I couldn't remember how to play them.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got to think about this and figure it out. So I did it on stage and she knew every word. That was one of my biggest kind of wow moments. And okay, this is what I'm meant to be doing, because it was like hard work paying off right before my eyes. And that was my first time seeing somebody sing every word of a song I wrote or songs I wrote back to me. That was really
wow. Cool. That had to be really cool.
It was an experience I will cherish forever. I'm still friends with her and her family.
So being where you are today, where do you hope or plan on being in 5 years?
I would love to have made my Opry debut. Growing up in Nashville, that is the goal. I would love to play at the Grand Ole Opry House and the Ryman Auditorium, because that was the original Opry for the people that don't know their country music history. Checking those two places off of my bucket list would be amazing. I could die a happy man. And then I'm really looking at collaborating with a few more artists. That's I have a duet that I literally just recorded. Oh, wow. That is one of those songs I was talking about that's in the chamber waiting to be put out. It's there, it's ready, and I'm really excited to be able to kind of talk about who I'm doing it with. I don't even know if we really have it out there, so I'm not going to say yet. But being able to work with some of my other friends in the industry that are doing the same thing as me, you know, I'm not going to be the kind of person, I don't want to be the kind of person that's, I'm going to prioritize me. I'm like, well, I'm going to help anybody and they're going to help me because we all want to grow together. So working with a bunch of other artists that I think will be really fun.
So who's your dream collab?
I have three. Cody Johnson. I would love to do something with Cody Johnson. Miranda Lambert, I would love to do one with. And it's kind of a cliche, but I did a movie with her for Disney. I would love to work with Sabrina Carpenter.
Oh, wow.
She's been a friend for a long time now. And I know she did a song with Dolly.
We'd love to interview her.
If she ever wants to come over to country music, I better be her first call. Okay. Like, let's just be real. She's known me since I was 10. Surely I could be her first call.
If you ever talk to her, you should tell her to come on our show.
I'll tell her. So there's those, you know, like some newer artists like Zach Top. I love Hardy.
Yeah, he's good.
Kelsey Ballerini is a phenomenal songwriter and singer.
She was one of our first people we interviewed ever.
Really?
It was before the Chris and Sandy show. We used to do a little website called New Country Buzz.
Okay.
It was back in 2014-15 era. And back then we didn't have the technology we have like now. So we would record the interviews and I'd type it up. I hated that part of it. But I did get Kelsey Ballerini when she had her first song was at number 28 on the radio.
Wow. Well, if you ever talk to her again, tell her Jet says hi and would love to do a song. All right.
I will do that too. You do yours and I'll do that.
Yeah.
There we go. So the list goes on and on. I mean, all of these people are people, Jason Aldean, people I've looked up to my whole life. So it's a rather ambitious list, but those are definitely some of my top people.
Who would you have loved to co-write who's no longer here?
Keith Whitley.
That'd be a good one.
Absolutely. I'm a huge Keith fan. He was gone far too soon. And I think that his music is just unmatched. So
definitely.
Keith Whitley is definitely at the top of my list.
So let's look further down the road and let's say that you are a success on a grand scale. Whatever that looks like for you, you can feel I have made it. What do you hope you never forget along that journey?
what it was like to play for 3 people, 2 of which were my parents. That I don't think I'll ever forget that, but I hope that older me doesn't forget the me now and the me then, because these are just stepping stones.
Mhm.
And I never want to lose sight of my faith, never want to lose sight of the people that stuck by me when I wasn't making it, hadn't made it, and then that were still there just for me, even when I do.
Mhm.
I never want to forget those people, and I never want to forget the hard work that it took to get there. So I don't take it for granted.
Most definitely. So I know earlier we talked about who was Jet at an earlier stage. Who is Jet today?
Ooh. I think people can see that in Red and Nothing on You, my last 2 releases. You can see pretty much by listening to those lyrics in both of those songs, and then Prove Me Wrong, which comes out on the 6th, you can see exactly who I am and where I stand, what I believe, and how I want to kind of live my life ideally. And I really hope people can see that and understand that. And I where I am now is exactly where I know I'm supposed to be. And I just hope that I keep that same mentality for the rest of my life.
So last question. What advice would you give that person that wants to do what you do? And if you want to make it a 2-part, make it that maybe someone who wants to act, give a little advice on that and sing.
Really, the advice overlaps over the 2. And it's kind of what I said earlier a little bit. You're going to hear the word no a lot more than you hear the word yes. But all of those no's make the yes feel so much better. I literally couldn't tell you the amount of times that I've gone to an audition, thought that it was the best audition I'd ever done. I put more thought into the character than anything, and didn't even get a call back. And then I've had other times where it's been like just teasing me. I've gotten callbacks and producer sessions, director sessions. I'm in screen tests, and I still don't get it. Songs that in the moment I felt like are going to be 100% the next country #1 radio. And then I listen to them 24 hours later and say, that is never getting recorded. Put that on a shelf and let it collect dust for the next 30 years. You write a lot more crappy songs than good ones. So it's all of the, don't think that just because the song wasn't good, you didn't get the job.
Yeah.
That it's a failure. It's a chance to grow. It's a chance to learn what went right, what went wrong, and what can you change to improve to only do better the next time.
Most perfect. You know, we loved having you come back on the show, and it's been great. And, you know, you're always welcome to come back anytime soon.
Thank you so much. It's so good to see you guys.
Same here.